Music Hall, starring Nelson Eddy with the glamorous Metropolitan Opera star Dorothy Kirsten, the conductor pianist Robert Armbruster and his orchestra. I'm Ken Carpenter, and here is Nelson Eddy.
Blow whistle, blow away the past. Go engine, anywhere, I don't care how fast. On, from darkness into dawn, from rain into the rainbow, fly with me. Gone, all my grief and woe, what matter where I go if I am free? Beyond the blue horizon waits a beautiful day. Goodbye to things that bore me. Joy is waiting for me. I see a new horizon. My life has only begun. Beyond the blue horizon flies a shining sun.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody.
It's a wonderful song, Nels. Makes me want to pack my valise and get away from it all.
Oh, not again, Ken. You just got back from Lake Tahoe.
Yes, I did, Dorothy, and you know, there's nothing like it. Oh, I love to wake up in the morning and see that sun coming over the mountains. How I like that air, that sky.
Well, how'd you happen to come back?
I like to eat, too.
You picked up a bit of a sunburn while you were up there.
Please, girl. In Hollywood, that's called tan. I always say when I feel those old wrinkles coming on, an afternoon in the sun does wonders.
Yes, you do look better with tan wrinkles.
You ought to get out in the sun more, Nelson. Al Jolson has a wonderful coat of tan.
How do you like that? A guy with enough money to buy every suit in town, and he runs around in a coat of tan. Hey, well, what does he spend his money on?
Suntan oil.
It doesn't cost that much.
He drills his own well.
Well, Al certainly knows just how to enjoy himself. Between programs, he's always taking trips.
That's just so he'll have an excuse to sing California, Here I Come every week when he comes back.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I work it in reverse. I hang around town and sing Beyond the Blue Horizon and Going Way Over Yonder.
Going way over yonder?
Yeah, it's a North Carolina folk song about a fellow who leaves his gal for a while to take a trip. But before he goes, he wants to know who's going to tie her shoes while he's gone. And she tells him, Pappy. Then he says, well, who's going to glove your hand? And she answers, Mammy. Then he asks, who's going to kiss your lips? And she says, you are, when you get back.
Well, if I know women, he better get back fast.
I'll tell him to hurry.
I'm going away for to stay a little while, but I'm coming back if I go 10,000 miles, he said. Oh, who will tie your shoe, and who will glove your hand, and who will kiss your ruby lips when I am gone? Look away, look away. He's gone away for to stay a little while, but he's coming back if he goes 10,000 miles, she said. Oh, it's Pappy will tie my shoe, and it's Mammy will glove my hand.
So much for a folk song and the story that goes with it. Now, Dorothy, as a preface to Un Bel Dee, how about telling us the story of Madame Butterfly,
Yeah, Dorothy, we'll climb on your knee and make ourselves comfortable.
Oh,
Tell the story.
well, the story takes place at the turn of the 19th century. It's about an American sailor who marries a Japanese girl in Nagasaki. The two are very happy together until one day he's transferred to the States. He tells her not to worry, that he'll return again. But in the States, he meets an American girl and marries her.
Well, you know these sailors.
Oh, I don't know. If you were in the Navy, Nelson, would you take advantage of a poor defenseless girl?
Would I take advantage of a poor defenseless girl? I don't know why I'm waiting. The answer is obvious. Of course not. Certainly I wouldn't.
Why did he marry her in the first place?
Well, he was a bachelor, and he wanted someone to share his troubles.
A bachelor has troubles?
Dorothy, you better sing. You're losing ground, in my opinion. Now, Puccini's Madame Butterfly was written as a vehicle for a singer, and its success has always been contingent upon the ability of its star. That's why many critics are of the opinion that Dorothy is opera's greatest Madame Butterfly. I think you'll agree when you hear her sing the beautiful aria that describes the scene Butterfly has so often pictured to herself of her lover's return, Un bel dì vedremo.
di verbena
You remember the old saying, such popularity must be deserved? Well, this week the folks at Kraft are certainly reminded of just how true it is. For this week marks the 15th anniversary of the most popular salad dressing ever created, the one and only Miracle Whip. Yes, just 15 years ago this week, a wonderful new kind of salad dressing was introduced to the women of America. And right from the start, it made history. In record-breaking time, Miracle Whip became America's favorite, outselling the next 20 leading salad dressings combined. So it's hats off this week to an old friend of yours, the one and only Miracle Whip.
Having worked up energy conducting Puccini's Butterfly, Robert Armbruster has enough left over to tackle Grieg's, all by himself at the piano. Robert Armbruster and Grieg's Butterfly. Very nice, Barbie. Got an encore for us?
I certainly have, and I'd like to dedicate it to Ken Carpenter.
Oh, Ken! Congratulations. Hey, you should have told us. I didn't know today was your birthday.
Well, it isn't. It's on Saturday.
I'm playing golf on Saturday.
Oh, well, congratulations, Ken. May I ask how young you are?
Why, you certainly may, Dottie. As a matter of fact, I'm approaching 30.
You must have taken the scenic route.
No. You know, Dorothy, I don't want to appear forward or anything, but in my family, when a fellow has a birthday, he gets a great big kiss.
Really, Ken? Isn't it too bad I'm not in your family?
Of course, some people prefer to give gifts, and there are a few little things I could use. There's ties, socks, gloves.
What kind, kid?
Well, if you feel that way, babe, forget the gift.
Oh, you know, Dorothy, speaking of birthdays, I had a birthday on June 29th, and I didn't get a kiss from anybody around here.
Well, now that you mention it, Nelson, I had a birthday on July 6th, and I didn't get a kiss from anybody around here.
Well, that can be fixed.
Wait a minute. What am I around here, a chaperone? It's my birthday. Nobody gives me any kisses.
Don't you worry, Ken. You'll get your kisses.
Really, Dorothy?
Mm-hmm. Bright and early Saturday morning, I'm sending you a great big bag of Hershey's chocolate kisses.
Just what I needed.
Well, inasmuch as Bob played Happy Birthday for Ken, Dorothy, I've got a song for your birthday.
Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Oh, but you're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheek so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight. touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it, for I love you just the way you look
Well, thank you, Nelson. That was a very flattering thought.
Yeah, it's a good tune, too. It seems to me Fred Astaire sang it to Ginger Rogers, one of their pictures.
Right, Ken, and one of their best, Swing Time.
Mm-hmm. Finally got her alone long enough between dances to sing it to her.
Well, of course, nobody in the movies is really alone, Ken. There's always a conductor with a 90-piece orchestra sneaking in behind you.
Well, I haven't got a 90-piece orchestra, but I can be just as sneaky.
All right, Bobby. See if you can sneak up on Isn't It Romantic? Isn't it romantic? Music in the night, a dream that can be heard. Isn't it romantic? Moving shadows write the oldest magic word. I hear the breezes playing in the trees above, while all the world is saying you were meant for love. Isn't it romantic merely to be young on such a night as this? Isn't it romantic? Every note that's sung is like a lover's kiss. Sweet symbols in the moonlight. Do you mean that I will fall in love perchance? Isn't it
Remember that one, too.
Well, you're in a reminiscing mood.
Mm-hmm. That was from Love Me Tonight. Came out in 1932.
Well, you were just 14 years old. That's assuming you're still approaching 30.
You seem to catch all the shows, Ken.
Yes, I do.
I suppose you saw Apple Blossom.
Oh, of course, old boy. I remember it well.
Well, that came out in 1919. Now, you were only 1 year old. Now, how could you get in the theater, huh?
I went disguised as a bag of popcorn.
You saw Apple Blossoms, didn't you, Nelson?
Oh, yes. Great show.
How old were you?
Let's say I went as a bag of popcorn, too. The important thing about the show is the music, Ken. One duet in particular. And, well, duets call for Dorothy.
Free as the birds in the air, flying with never a care, wandering about like the evening breeze through the trees where we please.
Follow our whims while we meet. 'Tis the happiest wish. Fortune has smiled on us from above, for neither of us is in love.
Love is just a game that two are playing. Love is nothing but a game of chance.
Oh, the one who chooses very often loses. Love is never sure to be romance.
Danger always lurks in Cupid's arrows, but he hasn't aimed at you and me. It
Tonight's a very special night on the Kraft Music Hall, for it's a happy birthday week for a product all of you know. Just 15 years ago, Kraft introduced Miracle Whip salad dressing, and it was love at first bite for millions. Right from the start, Miracle Whip zoomed to a popularity almost unheard of in the world of foods. Dad discovered a salad he liked at last, and Mom just smiled and ordered more Miracle Whip. Today, it's far and away America's favorite, outselling the next 20 leading salad dressings combined. This week, we're celebrating Miracle Whip's 15 years of leadership. So join in. Next time you're shopping, take home a jar or two for salads you can know your family will love. With its irresistible flavor, so different, so lively, it's the one and only Miracle Whip.
Insomnia is customarily diagnosed by doctors, but Gilbert and Sullivan made an interesting analysis of it in their comic opera, Iolanthe. I'm referring, of course, to The Lord Chancellor's Nightmare.
Love unrequited robs me of my rest. Love, helpless love, my ardent soul encumbers. Love, nightmare-like, lies heavy on my chest and weaves itself into my midnight slumber. When you're lying awake with a dismal headache and repose is tabooed by anxiety, I conceive you may use any language you choose to indulge in without impropriety. For your brain is on fire, the bedclothes conspire of usual slumber to plunder you. First your counterpane goes and uncovers your toes, and your sheet slips demurely from under you. Then the blanketing tickles you, feel like mixed pickles so terribly sharp as the pricking. And you're hot and you're cross and you tumble and toss till there's nothing twixt you and the ticking. Then the bedclothes all creep to the ground in a heap, and you pick 'em all up in a tangle. Next door pillow resigns and politely declines to remain at its usual angle. Well, you get some repose in the form of a doze with hot eyeballs and head ever aching. But you're slumbering teens with such horrible dreams that you'd very much better be waking. For you dream you are crossing the channel and tossing about in a steamer from Harwich, which is something between a large bathing machine and a very small second-class carriage. And you're giving a treat, penny ice and cold meat, to a party of friends and relations. They're a ravenous horde, and they all came aboard at Sloane Square and South Kensington stations. And bound on their journey, you find your attorney who started that morning from Devon. He's a bit undersized, and you don't feel surprised when he tells you he's only 11. Well, you're driving like mad with this singular lad. By the by, the ship's now a four-wheeler, and you're playing round games, and he calls you bad names when you tell him the ties pay the dealer. But this you can't stand, so you throw up your hand, and you find you're as cold as an icicle. In your shirt and your socks, the black silk with gold cocks, crossing Salisbury Plain on a bicycle. And he and the crew are on bicycles too, which they've somehow or other invested in. And he's telling Atars all the particulars of a company he's interested in. It's a scheme of devices to get at low prices, all goods from cough mixtures to cables, which tickle the sailors by treating retailers as though they were all vegetables. You get a good spadesman to plant a small tradesman first, take off his boots with a boot tree, and his legs will take root and his fingers will shoot and they'll blossom and bud like a fruit tree. From the greengrocer tree you get grapes and green peas, cauliflowers, pineapples and cranberries, while the pastry cook plant cherry brandy will grant apple puffs and three corners and banberries. The shares at a penny and ever so many are taken by Rothschild and Baring, and just as a few are allotted to you, you awake with a shudder despairing. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck, and no wonder you snore, for your head's on the floor. And you've needles and pins from your soles to your shins, and your flesh is a creep for your left leg's asleep, and you cramp in your toes, and a fly on your nose, and some fluff in your lung, and a feverish tongue, and a thirst that's intense, and a general sense that you haven't been sleeping in clover. But the darkness has passed, and it's daylight at last, and the night has been long. Ditto, ditto, my song. And thank goodness they're both of them over.
leaves me just about as limp as the Lord Chancellor, with just enough lung power to remind you that Dorothy Kirsten, Ken Carpenter, Robert Armbruster, and I will be joining forces here in old KMH next week, and we invite you to be with us. Until next Thursday, then, this is Nelson Eddy saying good night. Good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Nelson.
Good night, everybody.
Why not stay tuned to the Seal Test Show, which follows immediately.
The new number is 9. Yes, now Kraft makes 9 different Kraft cheese spreads for delicious snacks and sandwiches. The new treat is Kraft cheese and bacon spread with rich cheddar flavor and tantalizing bits of sweet, smoky-tasting bacon all through it. Delicious. Tomorrow, get Kraft cheese and bacon spread along with several other Kraft varieties. Then you'll be ready for wonderful snacks and sandwiches at a moment's notice. Remember, all Kraft spreads now come in new design glasses, the handsome forget-me-not pattern. You'll want to collect a whole set.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.